What's going on YouTube? Examples here, coming out with a brand new video. Now I apologise for not uploading for the past couple of days. Number one, I've been extremely busy at work and I've been extremely tired when I got home. And yesterday I felt a little bit ill, so I came home from work early and I pretty much went to bed straight away when I got home, so I didn't have time and I didn't really feel well enough to be able to make a video. But I'm hoping that now that I've kind of got rid of the illness that I was feeling and all that kind of stuff, I can start uploading daily once again. So this video today is going to be something a little bit different. I'm not bringing you guys any gameplay, I'm not going into Arena, and I'm not going into Tavern Brawl. But as you are well aware, earlier on this week we did have a patch that came to Hearthstone, and there's a few different things that have been added or changed in Hearthstone to make it a little bit more easier to navigate and also to prepare for the standard playlist that will be coming when the new expansion comes out. So first things first, let's go across to the shop over here and show you what's coming out or coming to or going away from the shop soon. So as you can see, you can pre-purchase 50 packs of Whisper of the Old Gods for $34.99 and you get this cool card back over here as well. I'm probably going to go ahead and do this when I get paid, so I have 50 packs ready and waiting to be opened when Whispers of the Old Gods comes out, and I'm also obviously going to have this card back. But moving on from that, you've still got the Grand Tournament, which still says latest expansion, but that's probably going to change when Whispers of the Old Gods comes out. And then if you go down to Goblins and Gnomes and click on this, it actually says leaving the shop soon, learn more, and you can click learn more and it basically tells you what's happening, what's going on, and why this particular pack is leaving the shop soon. But I guess this is fairly good for new players because it means that they aren't going to buy, say, 60 packs of Goblins versus Gnomes unless they want to try and get a hell of a lot of cards from this particular set before it goes away. But it is there saying this is leaving the shop soon, so be warned, if you're going to buy it, you can only use it in standard. Not standard, sorry, wild. And then if you go over to adventure, you've got League of Explorers, which is the most recent adventure, which obviously I've already purchased. I played through it, I've got all the cards. Don't really know what this is. Okay, I've already done that, that's fine. Then you've also got BlackRock, which is another adventure which came obviously before League of Explorers. And then finally you have Naxxramas, which is the one that's going to be leaving the store alongside Goblins versus Gnomes because they're going to be rotated out of the competitive environment within standard. So Naxxramas is also going, so if you haven't purchased this and you want to get the boss cards, unfortunately you can't craft them, even if, say you've bought like the first wing of Naxxramas, you can craft like the first wing. I'll get to that a little bit later. However, if you've never bought Naxxramas and you never intend to buy Naxxramas and you want the cards from Naxxramas, you probably want to go ahead and buy this. Only if you're going to use the cards in Wild. That is my personal opinion, and one that I would thoroughly recommend you guys go ahead and do if you want to play a lot of Wild. I don't see myself playing a lot of Wild, but if you guys are going to play Wild, go ahead, buy yourself Naxxramas if you haven't already. So let's go across to the play screen right here, and as you can see, you've got this little arrow here, which if you click back, it will take you to the first page of decks. So right here I've got my 3 custom decks I've built, and then I've got all basic decks following that afterwards. And as you can see, we've now got the 18 slots for our decks, and we can actually get rid of the basic decks if we so wish, because you don't want them filling up the 18 spots, which is quite nice. So I'm probably going to go ahead and get rid of all of these basic decks and start crafting new decks fairly soon, so hopefully you guys can see a lot more variation on the decks that I do bring. But we now have those 18 deck slots, which in my opinion has been a long time coming. But nevertheless, moving on to something else, this little thing right up here tells you what you're playing. So right now we're playing Wild because obviously standard is not out yet, but when standard comes out, this is how you change from Wild to standard. Just click this button up here and it will come up with a box, something like this, and probably say Wild and Standard, and you can click on Standard. Right now it says that standard format is coming, so only basic, classic and the newest 2 years of sets can be used. New sets will have a huge impact stay tuned. So obviously right now we can't switch between standard and wild because it's not out yet, but when the Whispers of the Old Gods comes into play, we'll see standard appear in this screen. Another thing that you can also notice right here is you've got a little button down the bottom that says My Collection. This will allow you to click this and go and edit decks, be able to create decks, all that kind of stuff. So if you're playing in a ladder and you keep getting wrecked by the same deck over and over again, instead of having to click back and then into your My Collection, create a deck, back, into play, into ranked, you can literally just click My Collection down the bottom, make the deck that you're either getting wrecked by or that you want to make. Then when you hit back, it will take you right back to the play screen. The same can be said for solo adventures as well. So moving on, that is basically the play area, as well as solo adventures is pretty much exactly the same in there as well. There's been a few changes to Arena. I'm not going to jump into Arena because I don't have a run going on at the moment. But basically, when you click the card that you're going to pick, the sound has been like nerfed, so it's not as loud and it's not as prevalent. It's a very, very minor change, but obviously it's a nice change nevertheless. And there's also a change for Reno Jackson that I'm aware of as well. So if you're playing a Reno Warlock deck, for example, and you want to know whether it's okay for you to be able to play Reno, basically, like the rogue cards do when you can combo them, it will highlight it in, I think it's like gold or orange, something like that, basically saying this card's ability is ready to use, you can play this card now. And for me, that's going to be very, very handy because I've been messing around with Reno quite a bit recently in a few Warlock decks, which I've actually got rid of now, but I always played it at the wrong time. I didn't have my deck tracker up to like notify me when I only had one particular card in the deck. For example, if I played like Doomguard, I wouldn't know if I had played both or one, all that kind of stuff. So with the little gold outline for Reno Jackson, it just helps out the players that don't really know when they can use it, such as myself, as to when they can actually use that card and be able to play it on the board and have its effect take effect, basically. So I'm actually now going to go into the My Collection screen, and as I said, in the play section you now got all of these basic decks as decks you can now get rid of, and you've obviously got the decks you create as well, and you have 18 slots as it says down here, so you can continue to make new decks. But the main thing that I want to bring you guys in this like area of searching is you can now search. I know this is a bit counterproductive because you can just click on these gems down here to be able to get the stuff that costs that particular mana, but say you wanted to have exactly 9 mana, for example, you can just type in mana colon and then 9, hit enter. Oh no space, sorry, that's where I've gone wrong, and it will bring up all of the cards that have 9 mana or cost 9 mana to play. So obviously you've got Archthief Refarm, you've got Nefarian, all that kind of stuff. And then also you can go via attack as well. So if you put in attacks 5, it'll come up with everything that's got a attack value of 5. And then also if you want to go for, I think it's health say 3, it'll come up with everything that has a health value of 3, so you can search for your cards a lot easier now. And also if you want to know what cards you are missing, if you just type in missing, hit on crafting, it will come up with all of the cards you're missing. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, I have a hell of a lot of cards missing. I know I do, just because I haven't opened enough packs. I've been on and off in the past on playing this game, but I'm hoping that now that I play a little bit more and I'm hoping to get into the competitive environment, I can start building my collection up a lot more. But there's another thing that I wanted to basically note to you guys that you may or may not be aware of. I know pretty much everything I'm covering has been covered by other YouTubers and other streamers, but I thought I'd bring it to you guys as well, just in case you haven't seen it. So one thing you can also do now, for example, if you want to go to Naxxramas and think, oh, what cards did I have from Naxxramas that I'm not going to use or I don't think's ever going to be viable in a in like a standard deck or a wild deck or anything like that. What cards did I get from Naxxramas? What did they give me? what's going, what's staying, all this kind of different stuff. So I've clicked on obviously the Naxxramas area here, and you've got the likes of Shade, which is going, Loatheb, Fugan, Baron, Rivendare, Deathlord, all that kind of stuff. And before, when you would right click this card to either enchant it or disenchant it, you couldn't do either. Whereas now, at the bottom, as you can see, you can now disenchant this card if you wish, and you can also craft this card as well. So I'm probably going to go through Naxxramas and get rid of quite a few cards when Standard comes out, especially the legendaries that I don't really think are ever going to see play, and I'm not really going to play too much Wild when it does come out, unless there's a Wild tournament. I don't see myself playing Wild that much, so I'm probably going to get rid of a lot of the legendaries, the rares, and the epics from this particular adventure, especially Mexiana. Don't really see this card being played ever, so I'm probably going to get rid of this at some point, but I don't want to get rid of it until Standard comes around, just in case I want to play around with some of the cards in random decks. But that's pretty much everything I had to bring you guys. There's not really too much else that I am aware of with regards to this patch. I just thought I'd bring you guys a little bit of this is what they've done in this video. So hopefully you guys did enjoy something a little bit different on my channel today. Tomorrow we will be hopping into the Tavern Brawl. I'll give you guys a quick sneak peek of what it is. So it's Battle of Tol Barad. Magical creatures are escaping from Tol Barad. Play a minion and get a random spell of the same cost but for free. So basically you can play, I don't know, something that costs 4 mana in a mage deck, and then it will give you a fireball which is now free to play, give yourself game, something along those lines. And to be honest, thinking about it now, I'm probably going to play mage because they've got some of the best spells in my personal opinion. So I'll probably create a mage deck along the lines for this particular Tavern Brawl. But anyway, that is tomorrow's video guys, so I hope you are looking forward to that. But nevertheless, that is the end of today's video, where I've brought you all the different things I know about the patch. As I said, it's probably been covered by a lot of other YouTubers and streamers that you currently watch, but I thought I'd bring you it anyway, just in case you're not aware of what's happened in this particular patch. But thank you so much for watching guys. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, rating and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. Links in the description down below will be to my Twitch, my Twitter, my sponsors Nifty Customs, the organisation I'm under, and my teammate. Any constructive criticism or feedback, just leave it in the comment section down below. I'll read through and implement it into my future videos. Thank you so much for watching guys. I'll see you in the next one.